Hi friends, today we can see about the classification of semiconductors. Okay, in the previous video we saw about what is semiconductor, then what are types of semiconductor, and then the energy band, forbidden energy gap, and the Fermi-Dirac functions, so on. So we saw in the previous video. So in this video we can see about the types of classification of semiconductors. Okay, semiconductors can be of two types. Okay, we can be classified into two types, which is intrinsic or pure semiconductor, and then extrinsic or impure semiconductor. Okay, intrinsic or pure semiconductor, then extrinsic or impure semiconductors. Okay, we should know that there are many semiconductors, which is germanium, silicon, gray, crystalline, tin, selenium, tellurium, boron, etc. These are the some of the semiconductors. What in the semiconductor we represent holes and electrons. Hole is nothing but a simply an absence of electron in the shell where one could exist. In a shell, when there is an absence of electron, it should be stated as a, we can say it should be when there is an absence of electron, it should be said as a hole. Okay, when there is a presence of electron, it doesn't mean when there is an absence of electron, it will be said as a hole. That is, a hole is present in the semiconductor. Okay, silicon is a tetravalent and its atomic number is 14. Germanium is also a tetravalent element. Okay, we should know that silicon and tetravalent are the silicon and germanium are the tetravalent elements. Okay, and silicon will have atomic number 14, and for germanium the atomic number will be, and it has only 4 valence electron. Okay, we should know that for silicon and germanium, what is the energy level. For silicon, for in the case of silicon, the the energy gap, forbidden energy gap will be 1.12 electron volt. This is very important value. In the objective question they will be asking repeatedly what is the energy band, what is the forbidden energy gap for silicon, germanium, and so on. So like this they are asking the constant values, so we should note the, we should have some knowledge about the constant values, which is the energy gap value or forbidden energy gap. Eg is equal to 1.12 electron volt in the case of silicon, and in the case of germanium it will be 0.7 electron volt. Okay, then we can see about the extrinsic semiconductor. Extrinsic, we can also say that, which is, this is a impure type of semiconductor. Okay, we know that germanium and silicon are tetravalent. Okay, germanium and silicon are tetra. We can see about the n-type extrinsic semiconductor. When a small amount of pentavalent impurity, the pentavalent impurity can be arsenic, antimony, bismuth, or phosphorus, is added to the pure semiconductor during the crystal growth. This is said to be a n-type extrinsic semiconductor. When a pentavalent impurity is added to a semiconductor material, is said to be a n-type extrinsic semiconductor. This is in the case of n-type. In the case of p-type extrinsic semiconductor, when a small amount of trivalent impurity, that can be boron, gallium, or indium, or aluminum, is added to a pure semiconductor crystal during crystal growth, the resulting will be said to be a p-type extrinsic semiconductor. Okay, in the case of n-type we will be adding pentavalent impurity. In the case of p-type we are adding trivalent impurity. Okay, and then this is some of the important statement. They will be repeatedly asking what is n-type in the semiconductor, and then what is p-type semiconductor. Trivalent pentavalent impurity is said to be n-type extrinsic semiconductor, and the trivalent impurity is said to be a p-type extrinsic semiconductor. Okay, we can see about the some of the terms that is commonly used in extrinsic semiconductor. First of all, there are some basic 4 terms. These terms are very important. In the last year exam they are asking the very basic concept. The process of adding impurity to the semiconductor is said to be a doping. Okay, the process of adding impurity is said to be the process said to be doping. Okay, first of all we can see about what is doping. Addition of impurity atoms to intrinsic semiconductor crystal is called doping. Doping is nothing but addition of impurity atoms to the intrinsic semiconductor is called doping, and the impurities used for doping is called dopant. Okay, the impurities used for doping is said to be dopant. Next we can see about diffusion. The process of doping a semiconductor with impurity is said to be diffusion. Doping is nothing but addition of impurity is said to be doping. Diffusion is said to be the process of doping a semiconductor with the impurity said to be diffusion. Okay. Then the important concept, that is what is donor and what is acceptor. Donor is nothing but a arsenic, antimony or phosphorus or any other pentavalent impurity used as a dopant to produce n-type semiconductor is said to be a donor type impurity. We need to know that when the pentavalent impurity such as arsenic or antimony used as a dopant to produce n-type semiconductor is known as donor type impurity. Same as in the case of acceptor, trivalent impurity such as boron, gallium, indium or any other trivalent impurity used as a dopant to produce a p-type semiconductor is said to be acceptor type impurity. Donor type is nothing but the to produce n-type semiconductor we adding pentavalent impurity, that is said to be donor type impurity. Same like that, to produce p-type semiconductor we adding trivalent impurities, that is called as acceptor type impurity. Okay, we need to know the difference between the donor and acceptor. Pentavalent n-type semiconductor to produce we adding pentavalent impurity produce n-type is said to be donor, and in the case of trivalent impurities added to produce p-type semiconductor said to be acceptor. Okay, these are the terms which is doping, diffusion, donor and acceptor. These are some of the important terms. Okay, then we can see about the important concept, that is mass action law. Okay, this is a very important law. We first of all we just see the statement of mass action law. Under thermal equilibrium, the product of a concentration of free electron and holes is a constant, and it is independent of a amount of doping by donor and acceptor. This is known as mass action law, that can be given as n into p equal to ni squared. This is a very, very important equation. N into p is equal to ni squared. Here Ni is the intrinsic concentration and is a function of a temperature. Okay, for intrinsic semiconductor N is equal to P is equal to Ni. Okay, we need to know that mass action law is nothing but N into P equal to Ni squared. Ni is the intrinsic concentration and is function of temperature, and for intrinsic semiconductor N is equal to P is equal to Ni. Okay, next we can see about the charge densities in an extrinsic semiconductor. Okay, since the semiconductor is electrically neutral, the magnitude of positive charge density will be equal to the magnitude of negative charge density. This is an important equation. The magnitude of a positive charge density will be equal to the magnitude of a negative charge density, that is Nd plus P equal to Na plus N. Okay, concentration of holes in the n-type semiconductor will be given as P is equal to Ni squared by N is equal to Ni squared by Nd. Concentration of holes in the n-type semiconductor can be given as P is equal to Ni squared by N, which is equal to Ni squared by Nd. We need to know that what is current density. Current density is nothing but the current passing per unit area is termed as a current density. That is J is equal to I by A equal to ENV. Okay, unit of current density is ampere per meter square. We should know that unit of current density is equal to ampere per meter square. Current passing per unit area is termed as current density, that can be given by letter J is equal to I by A ampere per meter square. Okay, next we can see about the Fermi-Dirac probability function. We already seen about Fermi-Dirac function can be given as by the equation f of E is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus e power E minus Ef by kt. Here Ef is the Fermi level or characteristic energy for the crystal in electron volt. Exact position of the Fermi level in the n-type extrinsic semiconductor can be determined by substituting n is equal to nd, that is nd is equal to nc e power minus of Ez minus Ef by kt. Okay, in the Fermi-Dirac we just substitute n is equal to nd, then the equation can be nd equal to nc e power Ec minus Ef by kt. For electron hole pair p bar minus p naught equal to n bar minus n naught. Okay, this is the Fermi-Dirac probability function. Okay, still we need to see about Hall effect and the applications of Hall effect, and what is the p-n junction and the application of p-n junctions. Okay, in the next video you can see about the Hall effect and the p-n junction diode. Thank you.